Yeah, let's go get him. He talking, and he gonna run right into some, we bought that.
Is Jermall Charlo finally ready to face Demetrius Andrade? Let's make it happen. Well, let's talk about it. But before we get into this next video, make sure that y'all hit my like button and sub to the channel if you haven't already subbed to the channel. Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade, the fight that people been wanting to see for years. They got so much beef and so much history. Why hasn't this fight happened yet? Well, recently we know that Jermall Charlo, he pulled out of his fight that he would have already had by now, right, on Juneteenth. He pulled out that his fight that he was supposed to have on June the 19th to fight Selecki. He pulled out and he said he had a back injury that he suffered running. Now, I heard rumors from people that's seen Jermall Charlo, that's close to the situation, that said he never had no back injury. That's not the reason he pulled out, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So just remember, right? I spoke to people in Houston and they said he didn't have no back injury. He pulled out for a different reason. But we're going to talk about that. And then, right, before that, y'all got to remember, and if you didn't know, I'm going to put you on some game. Demetrius Andrade, he was supposed to face Zach Parker, and he pulled out due to an injury that he said that he had. The fight with Demetrius Andrade and Zach Parker, nobody was calling for that fight. Only very, very real diehard boxing fans, and only a few of them was calling for a Zach Parker and Demetrius Andrade fight. It wasn't a fight that the public was going to be interested in. And then when they announced that Jermall Charlo was fighting Selecki, everybody, the boxing world was in an uproar. Didn't nobody want to see that. Everybody wanted to see Jermall Charlo come out and say that he was fighting David Benavidez, or Jermall Charlo say that he was finally gonna get in there and get the smoke with Demetrius Andrade. Now, several different occasions, Jermall Charlo has spoke on fighting Demetrius Andrade, right? And he says different things depending on, when it is. Sometimes you'll hear Jermall Charlo say, yeah, we can get it, ooh, yeah, he don't even know. He don't know what type of stuff that we bringing. Ooh, yeah, we can make it.
Which leaves Demetrius Andrade. Any interest in a unification fight there maybe towards the end of this year?
For sure, he got a belt. Yeah, let's go get him. He talking, and he gonna run right into some, we bought that. Like, I was ready. Like, don't worry about none of that. Like, we gonna take care. We gonna clean up the division sooner or later. Like, man, I'm really relaxed. I'm chilling. You see me walking through it. Like, bro, I'm gonna make the best adjustments, and that's just what I'm here for. I don't make the fights. I don't pick the fights.
Then he'll backtrack and say, oh, I'm never fighting him because he pulled out in a fight with my brother. Now, years ago, probably 6-7 years ago, maybe even longer than that. For those who don't know, years ago, Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade were supposed to fight. And we all know that Demetrius Andrade, he tried to get more money at the last minute from Rock Nation, and he pulled out of the fight a couple days before the fight was supposed to happen, leaving everybody effed up. Jermall Charlo couldn't get his payday. And that's what these fighters is waiting on. That's what they do for a living. They fight to get their fight checks, right? And for the love of the game, but it's still their profession. Messed up Al Heyman and, the PBC event, right? They had to cancel the whole event. So Demetrius Andrade, he just did horrible business and he just messed up the whole thing. So after that, Jermall Charlo said, F him. I ain't never fighting this clown again, right? So we was, it was understandable. It was understandable, right? I'm not doing business with this clown because we don't know if he's going to pull out the fight again. Down the line, Jermall Charlo comes in. And Demetrius Andrade has been on Jermall Charlo's helmet for years, right? But Jermall Charlo, a lot of times he makes an excuse and said, hey, I'm not fighting Demetrius Andrade because of what he did to my brother. And a lot of people understand that. A lot of people feel that, right? But Jermall Charlo nor Demetrius Andrade have had career-defining fight. Nothing close to a mega fight or a career-defining fight. Now, we know that Demetrius Andrade has been calling for Jermall Charlo for years. For years, over and over. And Jermall Charlo, you know, we've heard rumors that he turned down an offer to fight Demetrius Andrade. We've heard rumors that Demetrius Andrade turned down offers from PBC to come over and fight Jermall Charlo. Whatever is true, what I do know is now is the time for this fight to happen. Both of these fighters pulled out of their upcoming fights not too long ago. Both of these fighters are free. This can happen now. Now, I heard that Jermall Charlo, you know, he ended up pulling out because the fight with Selecki, it wasn't selling. And also, he wasn't really satisfied because he's kind of getting embarrassed that his brother keeps showing him up. His brother's getting all the fame. His brother's getting all the recognition in the boxing world because his brother is the one that's with all the smoke, and his brother is the one that's taking on all of the stiff, tough competition. And Jermall Charlo, he's been criticized by Mike Tyson. He's been criticized by all of the fighters, you know, and he's been called out by some of the biggest fighters in boxing like David Benavidez. And he's refused to go to that gate and answer that call out. So he's starting to feel the heat. Jermall Charlo knows that he got to have a fight, right? A legacy defining fight soon. He's in his 30s now. It ain't no more time to be playing around, right? So, like I said, it was rumors that he pulled out because of that reason, that the fight wasn't selling, and he knows that he needs a much bigger name opponent. Now, some might tell you that Demetrius Andrade ain't got no big name, but Demetrius Andrade's name has been attached to the Charlo name for years, and that is a big fight between both of them. Demetrius Andrade, he is at the end of his road. He needs a legacy-defining fight, right? Damn, shit. He needs to fight a B-plus fighter, period. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Jermall is only a B-plus fighter. I'll say Jermall on the A level, but he needs to fight somebody, period, because this man been in the pros for 14 years and still don't have nobody on his resume. The best fighter on Demetrius Andrade's resume is probably Vanez Martirosyan. Now that lets you know something. That lets you know that this man is in desperate needs of a fight, right? And then Jermall Charlo, you can say Julian J-Rock Williams, but we seen how that J-Rock fight aged. We seen what J-Rock turned out to be, and he a good fighter, but we seen what he turned out to be, right? Then you have to go to, you can say Austin Trout, you know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, those are the two biggest fights that Jermall Charlo had, but both of those fights were at 154 pounds. It was in the 154-pound weight division, right? He still ain't fought nobody at 160. You feel me? And a lot of people might say, well, he fought Derevyanchenko. Well, Derevyanchenko is a solid opponent, but he ain't no opponent like that. He was supposed to beat Derevyanchenko, right? Derevyanchenko has been beat by Brian Castano. Yeah, y'all go look that up. Him and Brian Castano fought in the World Boxing Super Series or the World Boxing Classic or whatever it was called, right? They fought way back. So he's been beat by Brian Castano. He got beat by Daniel Jacobs. He got beat by Triple G, although I thought he won the Triple G fight. And recently, he just got beat again, right? So that's Jermall Charlo's biggest, toughest task at 160. He been at 160 pounds for about 5-6 years. It still ain't fought nobody. So both of these guys don't have no excuse why they can't make it happen. Demetrius Andrade need to take his ass over there, get down on one knee, apologize to Al Heyman for the dirty business that he did, and let Al Heyman know, please, you know, I'll take anything, right? I ain't gonna just take anything, but you know, anything that's fair. And I want to make the Jermall Charlo fight happen. Because at this point in time, you got to do something for your legacy, Demetrius Andrade, because 10 years from now, nobody will remember who you are if you retire today, because you ain't fought nobody. And Jermall Charlo, yeah, Jermall Hitman Charlo. People might remember you 10 years from now, but that's going to be on the strength of your brother. So people going to say, oh, yeah, Jermall Charlo, man, that was Jermall Charlo's twin brother. Yeah, man, he was a hell of a fighter, but he never fought nobody. That's why they'll remember you. So y'all can end all of that right now, and y'all can get it cracking, dog. Demetrius Andrade versus Jermall Charlo. I don't care if it's at 160. I don't care if it's at 168. Make the fucking fight. In the words of Ricky Williams Boxing. With that being said, y'all already know what it is. Let me know what y'all think. Hit my like button. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.